shout out to Ant-Man. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's 2-1 going back to still in Minnesota. Game 4 is tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Now the Knicks and the Pacers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start by saying this, Knicks fans, we here. When did we become Philly? When did we parade in the street after, wins in the playoffs? When did we start this, this culture in New York at least? Because I damn sure don't remember this back in the day. Now, granted, I was a kid last time the Knicks went to the conference finals.
Yeah, that was a real tough time when Reggie was playing and against the Knicks though. So
that's the 90. Last time Knicks made it to the conference finals was 2000.
Well, I was just speaking on the series itself.
Oh yeah.
With the Pacers. I mean, it's bad blood there, and then hey.
And the NBA does some of the best as far as storylines.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Pacers and the Knicks again for the conference to go to the championship.
Mm-hmm.
And who's calling games? Reggie Miller.
Of course.
With Spike on the sideline.
Of course.
You talking about a storyline?
Can't make this up.
Very professional though. Very professional, Reggie Miller.
He's professional. Okay, game 1, the Knicks did something that was catastrophic. We was up 14 points with 3 minutes to go, and the Pacers came back. What's his name? Neesmith.
Yeah.
He went Klay Thompson.
He went berserk, man, with them threes, man. At the end.
6 3-pointers in the fourth quarter, and then
in the 5 minutes.
And then 6 minutes, and then the last 3 minutes he hit 3 of them. Yeah.
The Knicks was still up 9 points with 53 seconds, and I just want to say one thing. Everybody was sitting here saying that the game was over between Boston and the Knicks when Tatum went down. It was 3 minutes. It was a 9-point lead with 3 minutes. That's an eternity in the NBA. You seen what happened with a 9-point lead with 50-something seconds. So everybody's saying, and then Tatum was on his way to score 50-something points. I just had to put that out there. But anyway, so the Knicks, we blew that lead. Tyrese Halliburton, out of all people, shoots a shot. We thought at first it looks like a 3, but it ended up being a 2. Hits the shot. Send the game in overtime.
Where does shooter's touch? Got that bounce.
So after he shoots the shot, he thought it was a 3. He thought he won the game. He does the infamous Reggie Miller choke sign or signal or whatever gesture.
Genius.
Looks at Reggie, points at Reggie. Reggie points back. All right, cool.
Genius.
Call it collusion because I'm like, how you knew to do that, when to do that?
It was genius.
But it ended up being a 2. We go to overtime. Now this was the opportunity for the Knicks to say, okay, you know what? You did that. Let's whatever. We lose. Game 2.
It's called momentum, man.
Game 2 looked a lot like game 1, close game or whatever. Come down the stretch. We can't stop anybody. And then, and going back to what I said earlier, we have a shoot first point guard. Now he did make a shot. I don't know if it was to tie it or to
tie
it, right? He hit the 3. He comes back down.
89. I think he tied it at 89.
He comes down. We have 10 seconds left. He hoists a 3 for no reason.
Fatigue.
We could have got a better shot.
I think he was tired.
We could have got a better shot than that. So he hoists up a 3, chucks it. They get the rebound, and he comes back down, shoot another 3. My biggest issue with Brunson is I don't know if he doesn't trust his teammates, but he does too much sometimes. And I understand. It's one of the reasons why we got this far. But I've been saying this for the longest. He's a defensive liability. So he'll give you 40 points, but on the other end, just like game 1, they was hunting him. So, okay, cool. You can score 40 points, but against you, they scored 20-something points.
I think Tibbs was a bigger problem, man. I mean, having Cat sit on that bench for so long was diabolical to me. I
But see,
mean,
Cat is another defensive liability.
I understand it, but you needed.
need
They
an
were
offense.
they were driving to the basket. That was points taken off the board.
Yes, but we had Mitchell Robinson in the game, who's better
Defen-
offensive defense.
Yeah, but he's also with Shaq at the free throw line. So foul, send him to the line. You risk getting points or not getting points. You know what I'm
live.
saying? And you live with that.
You live.
Yeah, but see the issue, and I'm not disagreeing with y'all. You're right.
Mm.
My thing with Cat is Cat still thinks he's 6'2".
Right.
So he's on the perimeter instead of, and I hate to keep comparing the two, but if you look at the way Julius Randle gets his bucket, it's inside and out. Pause. He doesn't settle necessarily for for threes all the time. Now, granted, Cat is a way better 3-point shooter than Julius Randle, but Julius Randle will get points in the paint.
Well, he's more mobile.
He is.
Yeah.
I give you that. He is. But the thing is, you're 7.
And he pause, but he actually bangs in the paint to
Julius
get
Randle,
points.
right?
Yeah, versus Cat. So
Cat, he plays a finesse game, and it's like he's too skilled not to develop a low post game.
I agree.
You look at Hakeem. Hakeem was more finesse than what other big man that was finesse.
That's
Hakeem.
it. Is it
He played most of his game inside.
right?
You know what I mean?
But he had
if Cat was
nice
to develop
jumper.
some of that low post,
Yeah.
he can shoot threes whenever he wants to. Get down there, mix it up. Nobody told you got to be David Robinson or Shaq or,
Yeah.
you can mix up a little bit of the finesse, inside and out.
I see they planning on benching Josh Hart.
Yeah, I saw a report, Josh Hart coming off the bench and starting Mitchell Robinson because they need to figure something.
So they're gonna have him and Cat up there together.
Yeah.
Two
That
bigs.
was
Starting two bigs.
Well, that was supposed to be the starting lineup, but Mitch got hurt. I mean, let's real quick. The reason why we traded for Cat, we lost Hartenstein,
Right.
and Mitchell Robinson was hurt, so we didn't have a big man. The only big man we had was Julius Randle.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't going into the season with him at center, so they traded for Cat until Mitchell Robinson came back, but we didn't have no backup center. So at this point, Tibbs is trying to figure something out because
Well, he grasping at straws at this point. I mean, I said you can't lose game 2, but now you really, you know what I'm saying, you're really in a funk. I mean, you can come out and win 2 straight and even this thing back up, but that's a task, man, to win 4 games.
4 games.
That's a task.
Listen,
4 out of 5.
they have to out of these next 2, they gotta win 1. Well, if you don't
Gotta win 2.
I mean, the main thing at this point now, you have to have game 3.
Yeah.
You cannot go down 3-0. You gotta have this next game.
You go down 3-0, it's over.
Yeah.
History in the NFL and
Yeah.
in the NBA, nobody's
0.
ever come back.
I
Yeah.
don't think you can.
I'm not saying that it's over right now because it's not. There's still a chance. There's a good percentage, but you got to have game 3, dog.
See,
You got to.
if I'm Tibbs, I go to Brunson. I tell him, listen, first 3 quarters, get Cat, OG, Mikal Bridges, get them guys involved. First 3 quarters, and Melo broke this down when he said when he first got in the league, he spoke to Jordan. And he said, you know how easy it is to get 30-something points? Get 5 to 7 points a quarter. 5 to 7 points a quarter. And by that 4th quarter, you look up, you already got 25, 28 points.
Mm-hmm.
You can go in at 4th quarter. Clutch player of the year. The Pacers want to go up and down.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of wearing yourself out the first 3 quarters,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get my guys involved. Right? In the first, I think it was the first or the second game. There's a couple plays they ran pick and roll for Mitch. Live alley-oop dunk. Bro, you can start the game being a facilitator. Be a facilitator first because the Pacers, they're expecting you to shoot. So they're playing for you to shoot. You be a facilitator. If you look at the way, now I'm not saying he should play like him. You look at the way Halliburton plays, he's passive that first half.
Yeah.
He's passive. He lets the game come to him late in the game.
Well, see, them guys with the Pacers, man, they don't really care who gets the points. And
That's another thing.
and another thing, and then on top of that, man, I see Cat and Mitch, man, they getting winded, man,
Yeah.
like fast.
Yeah.
Cause Pacers run, them suckers run.
Styles makes fights too, right? So
Facts.
the Pacers, nobody on that team is playing more than 35 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
They're constantly keeping their guys.
Yeah,
fresh.
they always rotating.
Yeah.
They threw a guy.
Thibs dragging his guys. 7 guys are playing 40 plus, and then a few guys in there you sprinkle in there.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Indiana's keeping their guys fresh. When it comes down to stretch, they're clean.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
clean. They can still run with you.
They threw Shepard in
And they
the
just
game
keep-
yesterday, and I'm
They
like,
throw anybody.
And see, they
where's
just
that
keep-
undercover cop come from?
They just keep doing.
Crazy.
They just keep
Mustache.
throwing. The mustache with the short,
Yeah, that's
the Larry Birds.
I was like,
Yeah.
yo,
Listen, that man looked like one of the whisperers
Yo,
man,
he
from the
can't-
80s, bro. I'm like, who is this dude?
Nigga
Steady Rock.
Nigga like a Morris Day out there, man. You know what I'm saying? But
like you said, they just
Fresh bodies.
yeah,
bodies.
they keep throwing it at him, man.
fresh bodies.
It's a contrast of styles. You got
Mm-hmm.
one team that's using, 10 guys maybe
Yeah.
in Indiana?
But you know,
And then you got Thibs, 8, maybe 7 guys.
Right.
you know who else does that?
Who?
Oklahoma City.
Yeah, and that's another thing I was
Oklahoma
leading
City.
to.
And we seen that in the Denver series.
Yep.
In the fourth quarter,
Yep.
Guys
they
are burnt out.
got him
Yeah.
up out of there.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause this is and and like I said, styles make fights. That's absolutely correct because you got the Pacers and you got the Thunder that can go 10, 11 deep, and the coach trusts his team.
Right.
Players trust their teammates.
Right.
You know what I mean? So what we need to do is we need to figure out, okay, we know we can't keep up the pace with them because of, it's hard to do that with 8-man rotation.
Yeah.
How can we slow the game down?